your News 5 forecast first from the First Alert Storm Team.
There's just too much going on in the Atlantic Ocean. You know about Florence, you know about Isaac, you know about Helene, but now there's a subtropical storm called Joyce. 4 named storms, a disturbance in the central Gulf of Mexico, at least that's heading toward Texas. For our weather, we are okay. Yes, we've got a couple of thunderstorms popping up in the Florida Panhandle, but at least beautiful afternoon skies. The news at 5 begins right now.
Local coverage you can count on. You're watching WKRG News 5 at 5.
Millions on the East Coast not taking any chances with Hurricane Florence, a huge storm that the National Weather Service is now calling a storm of a lifetime. Tonight, when the storm could make landfall and the last-minute preparations to try to get ready. Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Albrecht.
And I'm Devin Walsh. We're glad you're with us tonight. Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals joins us now live from the Weather Center with where Florence is now, Alan.
Florence is still in the Atlantic. It's still approaching North Carolina, but the problem is it is definitely going to slow down. And that means it can hug the coast and become a big rain issue, a big flooding issue, and storm surge. So it may not be so much the wind when it finally makes landfall. It's going to be the rain and the surge. Here's where it is right now. Notice, most importantly, the maximum wind 120 miles an hour. So it has lost some wind speed, but it is still a broad and powerful storm that is going to push water up against the coast of North Carolina. Motion northwestward at 16, that really hasn't changed. And the forecast track, the forecast cone, very clearly you can see it takes a little bit of a dip before it goes back toward the north. And then focus on the wind speeds. Tomorrow afternoon, 125-mile-an-hour winds. By Friday afternoon, 115. Now, if it does go directly to North Carolina, it can make landfall Friday morning. But if it takes that turn and hugs the coast, it could be Saturday into early Sunday before it makes landfall somewhere in South Carolina. The various computer models show the usual uncertainty, but what is certain is it's going right up to the coast, and it's going to be a rainmaker. The new storm, subtropical storm Joyce. At least this one is in the North Atlantic, where it shouldn't really impact any major land. I'll have more on all of that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Alan. Millions of people are scrambling inland from the eastern seaboard as Hurricane Florence barrels toward land. The National Weather Service is calling it, again, the storm of a lifetime. Well, thousands in the Carolinas are not taking a chance on Florence. They are packing up to get out of harm's way. Jeff Patterson joins us live in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, to show us the final preparations. Jeff?
Yeah, good evening, Devin. I would say that people are taking this storm very seriously here. Take a look behind me. Businesses like this are boarded up. Homes in the area are boarded up. The barrier island that I'm currently standing on is by and large evacuated at this time, although there are a few people still out here. And this morning we talked to people doing last-minute preparations in advance of Florence.
At the Home Depot in Wilmington, North Carolina, a line of people stood outside waiting to get in, hoping to buy last-minute supplies to prepare for Hurricane Florence. The store was scheduled to close at 10 a.m., but elected to stay open to help people in their community.
The store was closed, but they were giving out 5 free sheets of plywood per family. Free. Free. You didn't have to pay. Free, and they were even helping you load them to your cars.
Julia Castellano and her family came by to pick up plywood to board up their home.
They're letting 5 people at a time go inside, and there's generators set up at the front and plywood in a certain area, and that's kind of like what they have.
They loaded up the plywood, but wind isn't their biggest concern.
Mostly flooding more than anything, because I mean, I know the winds are going to be hard and all, but at least we have we live in that house.
On Wrightsville Beach, people are boarding up and leaving. The barrier island may get a high storm surge. People are leaving here, but some people we spoke with today are planning to stay in the area and will ride out Florence.
Right now we're planning on staying. We're just keeping an eye on the weather and kind of reevaluating as we go. I feel like we have a little bit of time to change our minds.
Yeah, a little bit of time. A lot of people already evacuating. We did talk to a number of people here at Wrightsville Beach. It's a gorgeous little beach community. They're just hoping that it's here when they come back. Reporting live in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, I'm Jeff Patterson. Devin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. Florence could affect more than 5 million Americans, and our coverage of Florence doesn't stop here. Tonight, we will have reports on how the Gulf Coast is helping out and the regional impacts. You can find 24/7 forecasts and updates on our website, WKRG.com.
Breaking news in Mobile, the man accused of shooting 3 people in a brazen robbery at a Midtown gas station is now in custody.
Police say Emmanuel McAlpin shot 3 people in the head at the Chevron gas station on Sage Avenue.
Now, several different law enforcement agencies helped to catch McAlpine several counties away in Dixon Mills in Marengo County. That happened in just the past few minutes, or in the past few minutes he arrived back here in Mobile. And he is headed now to Metro Jail. We first broke this news about the arrest about a couple hours ago on our News 5 app. This is the push alert that you may have received. Since then, News 5's Jason Carter has been working to get more information, and he joins us live from Mobile Police Headquarters with our continuing coverage.
Hey, good afternoon, Peter. Yeah, McAlpine got here just around 10 minutes ago. In fact, I want to take a look at that video because I want to describe what we're looking at right now. As police are bringing him into the door of Mobile Police Headquarters, you can see those bandages on his elbows. Now, we were told that McAlpine was injured during the arrest, and there were multiple arresting agencies involved: Mobile County Sheriff's Office, Mobile Police, as well as federal marshals. But right now, let's go back, take you back in time so you can remember what happened. Let's take a look at that surveillance video.
Okay. Let's get it. Okay. Let's get it. I can't get it up. Give it up.
Yeah, Mobile Police released this video and offered a reward with the hope of getting someone to help locate McAlpine. Now, we don't know if anyone's getting a reward at this point. In fact, I was just talking with Chief Batiste just moments ago, and he's going to talk to us officially in the next hour or so. Now, we don't also know exactly what he is charged with at this point. Now, this video came out just a few days after the shooting took place in late July, and Chief Batiste actually at that time says, we wanted to know that we will allocate every available resource that we have taking him into custody. He continued, when we get him into custody, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that he gets the maximum sentence allowed. Now, victims who we've talked to, one of them over the past month or so, told us just how scary it was. Some not even wanting to talk on camera with fear that the shooter was still out there. Now, we have contacted one of those shooting victims, and they're going to speak with us in the next couple hours. We're going to have much more from them and just kind of that sigh of relief now that McAlpine has been arrested. Reporting live from Mobile Police Headquarters, I'm Jason Carter, WKRG News 5.
All right, thanks, Jason. We're also following breaking news in Baldwin County. A woman has been found dead in the water near Gulf Wind Court. Just Morgan, the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office says the woman was on a raft and then somebody noticed her in the water. It's believed that the woman had some kind of medical problem while in the water. Breaking developments tonight in Mobile. A former youth soccer coach has been charged with sexually abusing a child.
The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says 48-year-old James Ackerman turned himself into Metro Jail on Monday. Since breaking news of the arrest this afternoon on our News 5 app, we have been investigating Ackerman's arrest history.
And Mary Smith joins us now in the studio. And Mary, the organization he was most recently with said that it does run background checks.
That's right. They said that they do. I did speak to the president of that organization today. That's Mobile United. He says all coaches have to pass a background check in order to coach, but Ackerman's arrest date back to 2012. The president of Mobile United says James Ackerman has coached soccer for years with the organization. He even coached last year for boys ages 17, 18, and 19. But the president says this year there weren't any coaching spots for Ackerman. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says he turned himself into Metro Jail Monday after a warrant was issued by Mobile Police. This isn't Ackerman's first run-in with law enforcement. He was arrested in 2012 by the Mobile Police Department for patronizing a prostitute. Then in 2016, he was arrested again by Mobile Police for third-degree domestic violence. And News 5 found documents showing just last month Ackerman had a domestic violence protection order filed against him. Mobile United gets its background checks through the Alabama Soccer Association. We have reached out to them, but we have not heard back. Live in the studio, Mary Smith, WKRG News 5.
New at 5 o'clock, ground broken on a new entertainment and education center at the Brookley Aeroplex. Local and state dignitaries, as well as top executives of Airbus, on hand to kick off construction of FlightWorks Alabama. The 18,000 square foot center will have hands-on and virtual reality exhibits explaining the science of flight, as well as exhibits explaining how Airbus makes planes in Mobile. It will also include a restaurant and a gift shop and will be the beginning point of public tours of the Airbus facility.
We believe that investing in the community is critical to the future of the community, creating opportunities, but also, quite honestly, critical to Airbus.
The facility will cost more than $6 million, with the city and county pitching in more than $1 million. The center should open late next year.
Also new at 5, a man accused of attacking 2 people with a baseball bat appeared in a Baldwin County courtroom this afternoon. Ladarius Sigler is also accused of kidnapping his ex-girlfriend and a young child. News 5's Nicolette Schleisman was in the courtroom and has this report.
Ladarius Sigler was taken into custody after an extended vehicle and foot chase. He's charged with kidnapping and assault. In court, prosecutors outlined their case. They say Sigler broke into his ex-girlfriend's home. They say he beat his ex-girlfriend's uncle with a baseball bat. He's still in ICU. They accuse Sigler of then kidnapping his ex-girlfriend and a young child and beating his ex-girlfriend with a baseball bat as well.
A very young child, but carried along throughout the process. So yeah, exposed to the whole entirety of the event.
During his hearing, Sigler defended himself to the judge, saying he was assaulted and he didn't assault anyone. Sources tell News 5 they were surprised this wasn't a double homicide because of the extent of the victim's injuries.
You've seen people get hit in the head with far less than a baseball bat and die, and this was still very serious.
Sigler remains in jail on a $185,000 bond. In Fairhope, I'm Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.
Coming up on News 5 at 5, a big day for Apple lovers. The brand new phones unveiled today and why politics could leave you paying more for your next iPhone.
And as we go to break, you are taking a live look at traffic on the Mobile Bayway. You're watching News 5, local coverage you can count on.